Welcome to Joe Ruins Rilla. I'm America's service sales coach, Joe Crisara, and I'm going to expose the truth behind the fake news with AI call-by-call monitoring technology for today's home service professionals. Watch this episode to discover if Rilla and AI is just another way to micromanage workers in the home service industry. Is AI really micromanaging? As soon as I heard what Rilla was capable of doing, I thought, what kind of micromanaging hell have they created here? I've seen countless service technicians, salespeople, and customer service reps all tell me the same thing. I don't want my conversations monitored or invading my personal privacy. Sure, I teach people how to follow a system, but I don't want people becoming remote control robots working at the whim of their management overlords. The first thing I thought was that George Orwell's 1984 was here. He just missed it by a couple decades, but now it's a reality. So then I started digging into the facts to see if I could ruin Rilla before it ever got started to micromanage the service industry. I started researching the history of service management, and what I found definitely opened my eyes. In the beginning, when the home service industry got started, it was basically a self-managed business. Companies would give service employees paper work orders and tell them to schedule and perform their own work for consumers. The home service industry was stuck in this cycle for years. As technology arrived, tighter control of service workers' in-home activities began. Soon there were new best practices that emerged, such as giving employees only one work order at a time to allow the service person to focus on each customer more clearly. Eventually, through the use of cloud-based software, companies were able to see the results of every call once the job was complete, relentlessly coaching employees day in and day out in an attempt to improve. Then I started looking at some of the best coaches in history. People like Don Shula of the Miami Dolphins, John Wooden, who coached dynasties with UCLA basketball, and Nick Saban of the University of Alabama. All of these coaches talked about how they needed to observe the players on the field so they could change the strategy or even move around some of the players into the right position. So I asked myself, is it really micromanaging for a football coach to notice how the other team is lining up and then changing the play before the ball is snapped or tipped off? I finally had the aha moment I was looking for. Aha! This is exactly what almost everyone in the home service industry is currently doing wrong. So then I saw Rilla as an opportunity for service, sales, and office managers to watch and listen to the game of service as well. So I started to incorporate Rilla voice into our Service MVP live training events. What I found astounded me. Rilla was able to instantly record and transcribe the conversation between the customer and the service provider. We had the in-home service provider break the call up into different sections so we could more effectively listen to what the clients were communicating. We were literally able to change the course and outcome of almost every call into a win for the customer and the service provider in the home. It was the exact opposite of micromanaging. Literally every service person commented on how much more supported they felt and how much less pressure there was to diagnose the problem and create solutions for the client. In the experience our coaches have witnessed at Service MVP, Rilla has now become an essential tool to help create value for the service provider and the client. So, did Joe ruin Rilla? Unfortunately, no. Rilla wins this round. Again. Ugh. In fact, it's an amazing way for leaders to help their team. My clients and I have seen the results for ourselves. Service MVP clients that use Rilla have employees that feel more cared for, respected, and supported than ever. The communication between the leaders, managers, and coaches and their salespeople, service techs, and installers is now immaculate. When faced with tough customer interactions, the team is able to work together to run the right play so the customer, the service tech, and the company all win. Rilla will enhance and grow our teams by giving them the finest tool set ever invented to communicate value to our clients. But hey, don't worry, I haven't thrown in the towel just yet. Keep your eyes peeled for the next episode of Joe Ruins Rilla.